Hello, and welcome back to Plannerpocalypse. It's been a while. Today, I thought it would be fun to look at the Planner Pad Organizer. I think it's just from Planner Pad. This is something that I've seen around for a number of years, so a lot of you have probably already seen it. They do have a 10-minute video, I think, on how to use it, but we are not going to watch that. I can link it down below if you're interested. I actually tried using this layout in a bullet journal just because it seems very neurodivergent friendly. That was a number of years ago, I think in 2021 maybe, but they do release these kind of quarterly for a year. So I got this for like $6 because it starts in October 2024. I have no problem, using things that are out of date and just redating them. But here we go. We're gonna get into it. So first on the paper, it says, stay focused, stay organized, get more done. It works like a funnel to help you set and accomplish your priorities. This is seems like a plasticized chipboard, and it's got, some gold foil. It is, I believe, 7x9-ish. So for example, this is a happy planner. Well, it's my planner technically, but this is a happy planner page. Happy planner page is a little bit taller. And hang on while I grab an Erin Condren. And then this is just a paper from an Erin Condren planner that I uncoiled. So it's slightly wider than the planner pad. If you count the cover, it's approximately the same size, but it does have this like wire O type binding there. But because of the cover, I don't know if it will get stuck the way it typically does. It does appear that you can fold it back on itself, which is good for those people who like that. This came in black and white, so black and white inside. It also comes in like I don't want to say a financial green, but kind of like a faded sage type green, maybe like this color. I'll put a picture on the screen because I can't really describe it very well. Maybe like this, the Hobonichi 2024 pen, maybe like that. Anyway, and then the internal pages were, if you get that version, are like a screen of that green color. So if you don't like the starkness of the black and white and you want something a little softer, you go for the green. They also have one that is seasonally decorated. It is definitely not to my taste, so I did not buy that one. I don't want to insult anybody, but it looks like it was made in, a desktop publishing thing in like 1995 or something. But take that as you will. If you want that like kind of quirky Y2K era 90s desktop publishing, if you miss your clip art, then go for that one. Anyway, so, literally, oh my God, personal size, 6 3/4 by 8.5 right there. That's brilliant. Thank you very much. So this is copyright 1974 planner pads. So I wonder if this has been out since then. That's before my time, so I cannot vouch for that. But already we start with the personal information, and you also have emergency medical instruction, which is kind of nice if you have healthcare concern, what's it called? Chronic issues and such. You have important phone numbers, which is pretty nice. That's nice. Look at that. And then you have a 3-year calendar. So technically this would still be fine. You have 2024 planning, which of course this is out of date for me. 2025 planning and 2026 planning. That's pretty nice actually. So I could, in theory, redate this for the next year, or I could just jump in now. Anyway, it's fine. We have a list of holidays over the 3 years that this spans or whatever. Not that this is a 3-year, you're understanding what I'm saying, right? Okay. We have a map of time zones, which I've definitely seen in other corporate type planners. Like this looks very corporate. So we're talking the, what's it called? ARC system from Staples and the tool notebooks. But we do actually get a monthly calendar on one page and then a notes page opposite, so that you can, write down whatever notes that you need as like a monthly overview. Each page has this little diagonal here, and I've watched the video a while ago, so my information might be out of date, but I seem to remember them saying that you cut the corner of the page off when you're all done with it. So this is the weekly spread. So this is like the bulk of the planner is this funnel weekly spread that we'll be going into in a minute. But when you're done with the week and you don't have any tasks that you need to carry over, then you just cut the corner off and, you know, flip the page. So that's pretty cool. This is a really very holistic spread. I think it's a really great spread. I did use it for a week or two in my bullet journal, like I said. Ultimately, I decided not to buy this at the time because I like decoration, y'all. This is just, do you see this? I don't know. Stickers will help, but that's just me. Anyway, so up top, you have your weekly lists of activities by categories. And so what I was thinking is I could actually use this with my Memento Mori Goal Planner companion because I have, what's it called? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 life domains. And so I would be able to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Girl, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've been betrayed. I would be able to have them by categories. But basically, you'd have like work, home, kids, club, gambling addiction. I don't even know, but you do it by category. And then your daily things to do is your next section. So you have the dated things here, and then you have a broken line here. You'd be able to put a check mark here, and then your task there. I color code all of my garbage on my weekly spread. This is last year's planner, but as a for example, I color code my tasks by the categories that I just showed you. So this would be like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet type thing. And then you'd figure out which tasks that you're doing and put them on the day that you're doing them, right? And then the bottom section is for, it says it's for appointments, but if you wanted to use it for, yes, appointments, obviously, but you could also use it for time tracking. That's basically it. The box for 12 o'clock is grayed out just to separate, I guess, for lunch and stuff. You do get a 3-month overview here. It highlights the week that is current. And then over on this side in the sidebar, you get notes/calls. And then you also get a little place for expenses, which I really like. And then what is this on the bottom? So it says 278/88. I think this might be, is this question mark 200, the 278th day, and there are 88 more days in the year? Is that what that is? It could be. You do have printed holidays here. And then up here, you have major goal this week, and you have a little space to write that down, which I think is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Woohoo! And then, you know, rinse and repeat. We're going to do a, what's it called? A paper test, pen test. That's it. That's the word. I'm not seeing anything particularly special for when the year turns over because this is an odd time for starting this. Like I said, it starts in October, which makes me, oh yeah, it does actually start the complete week. So it started September 30th for the month of October, but you don't get like a September monthly except for right here. And that actually continues through October. So I think that's a bit much personally, because what do I need? I don't know. Someone tell me in the comments, why would I need to look at last month's calendar during the week? I don't know. And then there's also next month's calendar. I don't know. That's a bit much for me, but I live a simple life, and I don't need to really do a lot of thinking with the backwards and the forwards. I guess, I don't know. Okay, we're gonna head to the back of the planner. So, oh, we switched sides here. Hold on a second. Oh, look at that. They're reminding you to get your next size. I do believe they have a bigger size, so I think it's like letter size. I can look that up because I wanted to see how that would go. Yeah, all right. So they end the year with reminding you within a few weeks of the end of the year or planner to order another one. Insta Pockets. Perfect for holding letters, business cards, and other items. Self-adhesive clear vinyl pocket with slant opening. We like that. Page finder, personal size, quite nice. Okay. Anyway, we close out the planner with the month for October 2025, which is when, you know, this is all done. And then you get the typical notes page, and then these pages, which are interesting. Use these pages to collect and store all sorts of business and personal information. Save a page or two for each category of information you want to keep. Excuse me? So it says Gold's projects, and it's got the days of the week up top, and they're like little boxes. What do you put in the boxes, though? I don't know. Anyway, but there's a lot of them happening. I don't know what the days of the week are for, though. That's a bit confusing. Maybe they go into it in the video that I watched years ago, back in 2021, I believe, when I first saw this thingamabobber. But it goes to the end. You follow that all the way to the end and have all of the little paper dust that is now going to be everywhere in my stupid desk. Okay. And then you've got look forward / look back quick reference calendars. So this is from last year, this is this year, and this is next year. As opposed to the ones up front, which are like the current two. And I guess, so these are the ones that are in this book, 2024 and 2025, partially. And then this would be the following year. So I have to wonder if I ordered the January start one, if this would just be previous year, the current year, and the next year. Like, that would make sense, right? Okay, where am I doing a test? We're going to do it right here because I don't really care about this. Okay, this is a fountain pen. This is a 𝖙𝖍𝖎𝖓𝖊𝖓 with 𝖒𝖊𝖓𝖓𝖓 ink. And of course it's going to be fine with ballpoint pen, but I'm going to prove it to you in just a second. Ballpoint. And this is a gel pen. We're going to make a bigger gel pen somewhere. Where's my big fat gel pen? Mother of pearl. So this one is a 0.5 tip. This one is a 0.3. We're going to do some highlighting. So this is a zebra mild liner. This is a, what's it called? Tombow dual brush pen. And let's see what else. This is a 𝖖𝖓𝖊𝖓𝖙 dual tip marker. And then on this side, it's got the little skinny part. What else can I do? This is another fountain pen. That is, whoo, that's probably gonna bleed through. Of course, we have the, the friction pens, which I think are going to be fine because they just don't bleed. Friction pen. That is a 0.5 question mark. And then we have an InkJoy over here, which is a gel pen. So I have to stop doing gel pens. Stop it. Okay, this is a 𝖎𝖓𝖓𝖊𝖓 and the stiff one. How do they call it? Hard tip. And then this is the soft tip. It's a bit dry. And I need these guys right here. I'm having a problem with my stuff falling all over the place. So this is not the one I was trying to get, but this is a 𝖍𝖎𝖓 clean color dot, which I do use a lot. They are little dot markers, and I use them instead of stickers to do things. And this one is definitely newer than this one. I got this pack of, I think, 10 to 12 in 2020, and then this one I think I just got last year. So we're gonna flip and see how they did. Ready? Surprisingly well. Wow, I'm actually really surprised at how this paper held up because it doesn't really feel like anything special. No offense. Where? Okay, so this is the fat fountain pen, and like there's some light ghosting, but there's no bleed. The only thing that really is threatening to bleed is the dot marker. So that's really interesting to me that it didn't bleed through. So that's cool. Cool. That's really, I don't know, what people usually want to know about these things. I gave you the measurements. I talked about the binding and did a pen test. The paper feels fine. It feels like paper. It's nothing like particularly luxe feeling or very overly smooth or overly toothy like an 𝖖𝖓𝖊𝖓𝖓 paper, but it's fine. It's just regular paper. So yeah, take that however you want. I think it's pretty cool. I might use this for a little bit and see how that goes. But for now, I think that's about it. If you have any questions about this, please let me know down below and I will get back to you in a bit. Thanks so much for watching, and what planners are you using? Bye!
Till next time.